In Port Charles today, something shifted. It wasn't loud, it wasn't explosive, but it was powerful enough to leave fans completely speechless. What unfolded on General Hospital wasn't just another storyline. It felt real, it felt personal, and for many watching, it hit deeper than expected. Because sometimes, the quietest moments carry the heaviest emotions. Scene 1, a different energy in Port Charles. From the very beginning of the episode, something felt off. Not wrong, just different. The usual rhythm of Port Charles was there. People moved through their routines, conversations happened, life continued. But underneath it all, there was a subtle emotional weight. You could feel it in the pauses, in the way characters looked at each other, just a second longer than usual, in the silence between words. It was the kind of atmosphere that makes you lean in closer, because you know something is coming. And then it happened. Not with a dramatic entrance, not with a shocking reveal, but with a moment so simple that it caught everyone off guard. 2 characters, 1 conversation, and suddenly everything slowed down. The words being spoken weren't loud, but they carried years of emotion, unspoken feelings, lingering pain, memories that never truly faded. And as the conversation unfolded, you could see it. The cracks, the vulnerability, the realization that something, maybe everything, had changed. Scene 3, emotions spill over. At first, it was subtle, a pause, a shaky breath, a glance away to hold back tears. But then, it became impossible to hide. The emotion broke through, not in a dramatic outburst, but in a quiet, deeply human way. Tears that weren't meant to be seen, feelings that had been buried for too long. And in that moment, Port Charles didn't feel like a fictional place. It felt real. Because everyone watching could recognize that feeling. That moment when you try to stay strong, but your heart won't let you. Within minutes of the scene airing, fans began reacting, not with loud debates, not with controversy, but with emotion. Viewers took to social media, sharing how the moment made them feel. Some said it reminded them of their own experiences. Others admitted they didn't expect to be so affected. And many said the same thing. They weren't ready for that moment because it didn't feel scripted. It felt honest. Scene 5, the silence that said everything. What made the scene even more powerful was what wasn't said. After the emotional exchange, there was a pause, a long, quiet moment where neither character spoke. And yet, that silence carried more meaning than words ever could. It was filled with understanding, with regret, with acceptance. And for viewers, it was impossible to look away. Part of what made this moment so impactful is how relatable it felt. Because life isn't always dramatic. Sometimes the most emotional moments happen quietly, in conversations we didn't plan, in realizations we weren't ready for, in emotions we tried to ignore. And that's exactly what Port Charles captured today. Not just a story, but a feeling. Candle 7. What this means going forward. After everything that happened, one question remains. What comes next? Because moments like this, they don't just disappear. They change things. Relationships shift, perspectives evolve, and nothing feels quite the same afterward. Even if life in Port Charles returns to normal on the surface, something deeper has changed, and fans can feel it. There are many dramatic scenes in daytime television. Big reveals, shocking twists, unexpected betrayals. But this was different, because it wasn't about shock. It was about truth, emotional truth. The kind that doesn't need loud music or dramatic lighting. The kind that simply exists and hits you when you least expect it. Scene 9, a quiet ending. As the episode came to a close, there was no big cliffhanger, No explosive twist, just a lingering feeling, a sense that something meaningful had just happened. And even after the screen faded, that feeling stayed. Because some moments don't end when the episode does. They stay with you. There are many dramatic scenes in daytime television. Big reveals, shocking twists, unexpected betrayals. But this was different. Because it wasn't about shock. It was about truth. Emotional truth. The kind that doesn't need loud music or dramatic lighting. The kind that simply exists and hits you when you least expect it. Scene 9. A quiet ending. As the episode came to a close, there was no big cliffhanger, no explosive twist, just a lingering feeling, a sense that something meaningful had just happened. And even after the screen faded, that feeling stayed. Because some moments don't end when the episode does. They stay with you. In the end, Today in Port Charles wasn't about a major storyline. It wasn't about shocking the audience. It was about something much simpler and much more powerful. A moment of honesty. A moment of vulnerability. A moment that felt real. And sometimes that's all it takes. No big reveal, no dramatic twist. Just a quiet, emotional truth that leaves everyone watching speechless.